Hello everyone, Trophy Wine Hunter. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is one of these reviews that is so hard to do because every time I drink this bottle, this is the Chateau L'Evangile 2005, I drink it all. And so I never get to do a review of this wine, and I finally tried to save a little bit this time to do a review. I've had a number of these bottles. Chateau L'Evangile, I've done a previous video on the 1961 Chateau L'Evangile, so I'll refer you to that video, which will be the end of this video, for the history of the winery. And in that video, I went through the history of Chateau L'Evangile, but the modern history really begins in about 1990 with the influence of Lafite Rothschild. They went through a transition period where they bought some of it, but Madame Ducasse was still involved and had influence. And finally, that ended in 1999. There was a 9-year span where Chateau Lafite was involved but really wasn't in total control, and in 1999 they bought all of the shares of L'Evangile. So to me, that's the modern history of L'Evangile, as exemplified by the 1961. They always made great wines, but 1999 onwards, I would say 2000 onwards, is when Chateau L'Evangile really gets to the next level with all the injection of capital and also expertise from Chateau Lafite. So 2005 is one of these classic vintages. It's a great vintage. Chateau L'Evangile is from Pomerol region, the Right Bank, mostly Merlot, about 85% Merlot, I think 15% Cabernet Franc. And in this type of vintage, it just really sings. I'm not going to go through again too much of the history of the wine. I went through it in the last time. But I'll just go through the notes of this wine at this point. I've had this wine open now for about a day, and again, I've had in the last little while a couple of bottles, and I never get any of it left because I keep drinking it so fast. And it's just a wonderful wine to drink. I'm very familiar with this wine because I've had a number of bottles over the last little while. Out of the bottle, it was really nice. Everything you expect from a Right Bank wine. That lots of dark berries, you got that cocoa, chocolate, gravelly, minerally, earthy aromas to it, and a floral component. So really, really soft, kind of velvety, very pleasing. And that's really characteristic of Pomerol and the Right Bank in general. So let's try it now after a day. So it's still very floral in aroma. I almost want to say roses, red berries, very bright red fruit, and then a little bit of charcoal or smoke or tobacco on it. So it's got a mixture of aromas, but very aromatic. Kind of reminds me in terms of the aromas of Burgundy aromas, like the Grand Cru Burgundy aromas with slightly more heaviness. But very, very aromatic. And I don't think you get the same type of aromatics from Left Bank. Most Left Banks, there are some exceptions. On the taste, it's got so much going on. It's still very young. It's got the great balance between structure and softness. You've got the dark fruits. I think it's got both almost blueberries and black plums, and also the red berries like red currants. And then it comes off with, on the initial taste and mid palate, some chocolatey cocoa elements, and then now the aftertaste, a little bit of iron, forest floor, and tobacco. So it's got a little bit of everything. The tannins, I think, are strong, medium plus, but not rough. They're very smooth and tannins, like refined tannins, I would say. Aftertaste is very long. And it's got that residual sweetness, a slight bit of glycerin, which I associate with Right Bank also. I see that a little bit in Petrus. Glycerin to me is kind of sweet, but a little bit of bitterness at the end. Almost also a little bit like dark, bitter chocolate. That's what I get from this too. It's got so much going on, and just a wonderful wine to taste. My rating of this, and I've had a number of bottles, and I can only judge it by, it drinks so fast. It's very, very easy to consume a bottle of this, even at 2005. which is still a young year. This could probably go on another 20 years easily. It's approaching its drinking window. I think it drinks well now. It's probably still slightly young, still probably slightly on the incline right now. But even at that, it's to me really, really good wine and one of my favorite wines of the year. Notably, probably within my top 10 wines, I would say. Everyone that I've had it with has enjoyed it very much. So my rating is going to be 98 points. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Until next time, happy drinking.